Hello and welcome to Epiphytic Cacti. So today I'm very close to having completely moved all of the plants indoors for the winter. So the Schlumbergera are still outside, and then there's a few little straggly plants here or there that are out here. So I also wanted to kind of give an update that this fall I had these pergolas built in my backyard, basically for hanging the plants, and because this spring I had kind of a really unpleasant experience where a lot of my Disocactus hybrids got scorched. They got sunburnt pretty bad. It was just not a great experience. So I figured that it was in my best interest to build some kind of a structure that I could cover with shade cloth, and, slowly acclimatize the plants that way. So I had these built. I will say a couple of things if you ever do consider building something like this. I'm glad that initially I had a different kind of structure, that I tested it out to kind of see what I thought of it, because one of the things that I had them do when these were being built is I had them make them higher. So I think these are like 7.5 feet high or something. And so the plants can hang, but I'm short enough that I can still mow without, playing dodge the branch or dodge the plant, which was quite difficult before. So there are still a few plants out here, and that's because they are trying to bloom or because I may not actually keep them. Here is a Disocactus hybrid, just like I said, trying to bloom. Some of these are off-season bloomers, and so of course, the days are shortening, it's getting colder, so of course they're trying to bloom, and I try to leave them outside for as long as humanly possible when they're like that, because the blooms have a better chance of actually making it. Here are some of the Schlumbergera real quick. Here we have a Rhipsalis. I believe this is Rhipsalis terrariform capilliformis. Just kind of cool. He's got a couple of little buds on here, and I wanted to see them flower, so I just figured I'd leave him outside for as long as possible, but not too long. Fairly new plant, Rhipsalis pachiptera also has some buds, so also staying outside. Again, not too long. They need to come inside before the temperatures drop below 40 typically. Here we just have some more Disocactus hybrids, more off-season bloomers producing buds. Halisca starlight, always beautiful, just always has these beautiful, beautiful flowers. They're nice and fragrant, absolutely gorgeous. Here we have a lot of the Schlumbergera hybrids. So most of these guys, I had taken these small ceramic pots and actually potted them up. And I potted them up into these 6-inch baskets, hanging baskets, and, we got this nice splurge of growth. And one of the reasons why I did that was because I had duplicates of a lot of them, or some of them weren't really growing. So if you experience that, you might want to actually try potting it up, especially if it's been in a small pot for a long time. All the Schlumbergera will be grown downstairs this year, except for a few species. Mainly because they get spider mites. And so while they're really beautiful to have them growing all over the house, I can't really control the spider mites unless I can spray them. And because I just have too many, I can't grow them around the house and move them around and spray them. So in the basement, I have a hose and I can basically just spray them like I would as though I was watering them outside. So it keeps spider mites under control. These guys are all still out here, of course, because the cooler temperatures and the shortening days induce budding. So, I'm leaving them out as long as possible to get as many buds as possible. Here we are inside. This is my dining room. Scattered around my dining room, I have some Hoya. I have some Epiphytic Cacti. I think there's an alocasia in there. There's some stuff in the BiOrbs. And hanging from the ceiling there, you'll see that there are some Soltech grow lights. I really like these grow lights, particularly because they are full spectrum. And when they're on, it just seems like a normal light. It doesn't really bother my eyes the way some grow lights do. Like, I can't really handle any of the purple grow lights. Even the grow lights that I have in the basement, even though they're full spectrum, there's something very different about them and they kind of bother me. So that's what's kind of hanging around there. There's one of the BiOrbs. You can see that there's a couple of little begonia. There is, I think it's a little cherry tree that's in there. So trying different things with the BiOrbs. I still really like the BiOrbs. There's a couple of the little baby Hoya that are scattered around there. I guess in case anyone ever wondered whether or not epiphytic cacti only grows epiphytic cacti. No, I grow some other plants, but mainly I grow epiphytic plants. So I do keep some Hoya, philodendron, stuff like that. So there you can see 2 Hoya in the windows, and there you can see my, I'm not exactly sure what to call that. It's my philodendron display. So these are just basic philodendron, your philodendron Brazil. I think your philodendron, I'm not sure if that's called green jade. I just keep those growing all over the place. There's the other BiOrb, and there's a couple of begonia in there. Again, there's a little cherry tree that's in there. Here we see some Schlumbergera that I keep in these windows. So there's Schlumbergera lutea, subspecies lutea, and subspecies bradii growing in there. A couple of other random monstera, I think. And here on the other side, I do keep a lot of the kind of long, beautiful Rhipsalis. They just kind of keep me company through the winter. Some of the plants that I like that I know do well upstairs, basically. And here's my office. We have another one of these windows, some Hoya. There's the other window in my office. Again, some Hoya. On the left is Hoya linearis. On the right is Hoya bertone. And here in my living room, not much will grow in my living room, but these Hoya will grow in my living room. So a couple of Carnosa there. There's a Carnosa Crinkle 8, Crimson Queen, and I forgot her name. Crimson Princess, I think. Yeah. And so then here we have one of my favorites, which is Hoya curtisii. This is the first time this plant has ever bloomed for me. I was very excited. What beautiful, unusual, curious flowers. Absolutely fantastic. Totally worth the wait. And I waited a very long time. So here's in my bedroom. We have, again, there's just some more Hoya hanging in the window. Generally pretty common Hoya. There's Obovata, Carrii, Chelsea, Lacunosa. So just really common Hoya that I keep. And those don't ever go outside in the wintertime. They stay inside all year round. So here we have my Rhipsalis closet. And in here, some of the Rhipsalis have just gotten so big that, I just kind of keep a few in here instead of keeping tons of them in here. A lot of them I move downstairs. So, just some big guys. So there we have Rhipsalis terrariform heteroclada. It's just kind of a big bush now. Next to it, we have Rhipsalis nevesermandia form megalantha. A lot of the plants I joined together. Here's my epic Rhipsalis terrariform prismatica. So I remember my first video, it had shot off like one of these weird long branches and started growing weird stuff from the end. And now this plant consists of almost nothing but these weird long branches. So, and holy grail of epiphytic cacti, Strophocactus wittii, absolutely fantastic. It bloomed. That was amazing to see. And I think there's just some random philodendron here. Nothing super special. This one's one of my favorites. I don't know. It's very common, but I very much like the red leaf on the back. Again, some of them have just gotten so big. So here I have Rhipsalis paradoxa, Rhipsalis pachoptera, Rhipsalis holleri, Rhipsalis lindberghiana, Rhipsalis pilocarpa, Rhipsalis ormondoi, Rhipsalis flacosa. So generally just, some of the ones that I either kind of want to keep an eye on, or some of the ones that have just gotten so big that, I just keep them in this closet hanging now. They're beautiful to fall asleep to and beautiful to wake up to. So, and here we are in my basement. Now, my basement is technically where most of them go. There's a whole entire shelf that's cleared out on the left side here that is specifically for the Schlumbergera. So there's a space we're not looking at for them. You just see Aporocactus, Aporophyllum hybrids, Disocactus species, Disocactus hybrids. There's some Rhipsalis over there. And down here, there are much more intense grow lights, and these grow lights have fans. So it's actually pretty noisy in the basement. And that's the other reason why I use the Soltech grow lights upstairs is because they don't have the fans, so they don't make any noise. So downstairs, it sounds like a plane is taking off. If I was to do it again, I'm not so sure that I would get the grow lights that I have downstairs. I think I just got them off of Amazon. They consume a lot of electricity. They've done really well, but, you know, here I keep a tub that is basically full of my epiphytic cacti mix or even just my epiphyte mix in general. And so this is through the wintertime, if I need to pot something up, do some repotting, whatever, seedlings, that kind of thing, I just keep it here for convenience. Highly recommend doing that if you have a basement. Here you get a shot of the grow lights. You can see a couple of them have burnt out here and there. I've had it for a long time. Here is a massive cluster of buds on Weberocereus, frohningiorum. They bloom going into the fall like this, so they end up blooming inside quite often. Here you can see some Rhipsalis, some Lepisium there, and you can see that I kind of hung this netting in the basement so I can kind of have like a little wall thing going on, I guess. Just kind of save space versus having a bunch of things hanging from the ceiling and banging my head on them. I think I was all about convenience this year. Right side, you can see just tons of Disocactus hybrids, more Disocactus hybrids. The whole entire middle is Disocactus hybrids and some Selenicereus. Of course, the Selenicereus just can get monstrous. It's a little bit hectic. And then down the way, there's some seedlings. So here you can see there's just lots of seedlings trying to start in these plastic trays that I have. All different kinds of seedlings. There's Weberocereus, Disocactus, Schlumbergera, Rhipsalidopsis, Rhipsalis seedlings. So there's just all kinds of seedlings. Here you see some more young Disocactus hybrids. Some of those are my seedlings. You can see at the bottom some Rhipsalidopsis hybrids growing in their little baskets. There's all kinds of things going on here. There's Rhipsalidopsis, Schlumbergera species, Lepismium, Hadiora. There's all kinds of things happening right there. So down there you can see there's just a whole nest of Selenicereus. Selenicereus definitely take a lot of room. They go crazy. So they will grow you right out of your house. So the other side of that, again, just lots and lots and lots of different stuff. That would be Rhipsalis flagelliformis, some Weberocereus, some Schlumbergera rossaliana was in there, some more Rhipsalis here. Those are my pods that I'm growing lettuce in. And more Rhipsalis going on over there. Lots and lots of little Rhipsalis. And here is Weberocereus imitans. That was new to my collection this year. Really exciting. And, buds forming on some of these. You can see bradii in the background blooming on the floor there, or towards the floor. So anyway, that's kind of what I do for the winter. I hope you've enjoyed taking this tour with me. Thank you for watching, and happy cacti growing.